Hey there friends, October in Massachusetts can feel like the garden is shutting down. Cold mornings, shorter days, but here's the truth. If you plant the right crops now, you can set yourself up for big spring wins. Here's what we're doing today. I will show you what to plant in October in Zone 6B. We will cover fast hardy greens, garlic and shallots, and cover crops. I will give you simple rules for frost, row cover, and spacing. Now, before we start, close one eye. With the other eye, find the like button and give it a tap. Thank you. Let's plant like it's not over, because it isn't. October is the big moment in Massachusetts gardening. It's garlic season. If you plant nothing else this month, make sure that you get these in the ground. In our climate, always go with hardneck varieties. These varieties were made for our specific climate, and they also reward you with garlic scapes in the spring before the bulbs are even ready. Pick only the largest, healthiest cloves. Remember, big in, big out. Set each clove pointy side up, about 2 to 3 inches deep, and keep them 6 inches apart. As soon as they're in, mulch heavily. That layer of mulch keeps the soil stable, it protects against frost heaving, and it helps the bulbs establish strong roots before the ground freezes solid. I've got a full garlic planting video where I show my bed layout, the depth and mulching methods. If you want to see that exact process, the video is up here. If you want the best possible start, reach out to our friend Lyndon at Rosasharn Farm. Lyndon has been selecting and saving hardneck garlic for our climate for over a decade. Shoot him an email and tell him you are a friend of the channel's, and he'll set you up with cloves that are already dialed in for New England winters. Shallots deserve a spot right next to your garlic. They love the same conditions: good drainage, firm mulch cover, and consistent spacing. 6 inches apart is perfect. Plant them now, and by late spring, you'll have bulbs that split and multiply, giving you up to 12 times the shallots that you started with, and all of those are going to be larger too. There are certain types that you don't want to buy, so check this video out. Here are the key moves to remember. Always plant the biggest cloves that you have. It directly determines the size of your harvest. Mulch when leaves become available to protect the soil and keep the rows steady through the frost. In the fall, people will bag up their leaves and drop them at their curb. Collect as many of these bags as you can. They can be stacked on their side all winter long for new beds, or simply to protect your soil. The worms will love it. Now, don't forget to label your beds now so you don't forget what's planted where. Year after year, I confidently think that I'll remember what I planted there, and I never do. Taking a picture and leaving a note on your phone can work even better than a label. Get this step right, and you're not just setting up for a July garlic harvest, you're setting the tone for your whole gardening season. Cover crops are like your winter crew. When the garden looks quiet, they're still working, protecting your soil, feeding it, and setting you up for a strong spring. Leaving a bed bare in Massachusetts is like leaving your door wide open in a snowstorm. Something will fill the space, and it usually isn't good. This year, I'm planting winter rye in clumps about 6 inches apart. Rye is a powerhouse. It builds organic matter, it locks the soil in place, and it's one of the first crops to wake up when spring returns, right alongside your garlic. You can also broadcast it thickly across whole beds if you prefer a blanket coverage. Either way, rye is the anchor cover crop for cold New England winters. For nitrogen, nothing beats vetch. It grabs nitrogen from the air and stores it in the soil, making it perfect for beds that will hold heavy feeders like corn or broccoli next year. Just remember, vetch grows vigorous. Vetch is vigorous. You'll need to manage it in the spring with crimping, mowing, or tarping. Here's another option: broad beans, also called fava beans. These are great because they fix nitrogen while they grow. And when a hard frost hits, they naturally die back. The frost kill saves you the work of termination, and their roots still leave behind nitrogen for spring crops. Here's the bottom line: never leave your soil bare. It takes years to build your soil and weeks to lose it all. Even a light stand or cover crop is better than an empty bed. And if you want maximum payoff, mix rye with vetch. Rye brings the biomass and vetch brings the nitrogen. And together, they leave your soil better than you found it. I want to pause here and say, if you're still here, you're amongst my favorite people. You've stuck with me all the way through October planting, and that tells me that you're serious about growing. I appreciate you more than you know. To prove you made it this far, answer me this in the comments. If you could grow only one crop next year, just one, what would you pick and why? By October, I usually call it quits on greens. The days are too short, the light too weak, and plants just don't have enough energy left to bulk up before winter slams the brakes on growth. September is this sweet spot. October is more about rolling the dice. If you've got extra seed laying around, there's no harm in trying, but don't expect big, healthy heads of lettuce before the cold shuts things down. Baby greens at best. Spinach is the one exception worth a gamble. I've seen it survive hard frosts that flatten everything else, only to bounce back and take off again in the spring. Savoyed types like Sun Angel from Johnny's handle snow and frost especially well. And this is because of their crinkled leaves. Sow them thick, and if you throw a row cover over the bed, you might snag a few baby leaves before winter. And if you're lucky, you'll have an early harvest waiting when the ground thaws. Other cold hardy greens like red Russian kale, mâche, or winter lettuces can be sown now, but the odds aren't great. By the time they germinate and get moving, the light is already fading. If you do try, start them in trays where the soil is warmer. Then tuck them in close for a small, dense harvest. But again, think of it as an experiment, not a reliable harvest. The real trick this late in the season isn't just cold, it's the lack of daylight. Even hardy crops stall when the sun drops too low in the sky. Protection helps, row cover blocks the wind, keeps the leaves from drying out, and it gives the plants the best fighting chance. But at this point, manage expectations. Harvest baby leaves if you get them, and count anything extra as a bonus. Okay, let's pull it all together. October in Massachusetts is all about setting the stage for winter and for spring. Plant cold hardy greens like spinach, lettuce under cover so that they can ride out frost. Get your garlic and shallots in this month. Go with hardneck garlic, mulch it well, and if you want the strongest seed cloves, email Lyndon at Rosasharn Farm. Don't leave empty beds bare. Seed them with cover crops instead. Rye adds biomass while vetch fixes nitrogen, and clover works beautifully in paths and around perennials. Top everything off with compost and mulch, and you'll be way ahead when spring arrives.